Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Now look at this, isn't this fantastic? Here we have the entranceway to our very next temple, and it lays behind you but before me. And what it is called is Prasat Damri, which is easy to translate and work out. Damri quite simply means elephant. But we also have a hint of the old Shiva god here. We have stone lions, and those Damri, those elephants, well, they tell a tale all of their own. And when I saw these huge carved stone elephants, I was pleased to see them. But when I saw the detailing, then the story started to unfold. So allow me to show you round this wonderful temple. And here is that entranceway, and it is this very path and through there that the devoted would have flocked. And what they would have seen is a complete brick temple here, but it has crumbled with time, and there's one that mirrors it just off to the left of the screen. But what the main feature would have been is this temple here, Prasat Damri. Now look in the distance here. Can you see this mighty wall that encloses it? It's quite incredible that these walls are still standing after all these years. But Damri, as we already know, means temple. And this is all about the mighty elephant and the lion. Because before we go into its very heart, the tale is told out here. I mean, it never ceases to amaze me what you find in the ground here. And this is a lion. We can see the patterning of his chest, his haunches, and see his tail going all the way up his back. But alas, somebody has taken his head, because this place was very heavily looted. But it's over here we have an elephant, and he is a fantastic find. Now what really impressed me when I got up to Mr. Elephant was what is on him. Do you see these here? And they show so much better on the other side. Look, even better still, because what we see is how the elephant was utilized. They never wrote this down, but it is left to us in stone. And we can't underestimate how important these chaps are. They were the only power source. And without them, these temples would never have been built. So how jolly good of them to have temples named after the elephants. But we can clearly see the linear straps here going to metal rings here. These would have been metal hooks. This would have been a metal bar. And here would have been metal fittings. And they look a little ornate, don't they, as well? And here is the strap. And we can actually still see patterning on this strap. And next to it looks like a chain, just in case maybe this snapped. And there's a further strap that goes round behind his ear. So we know how these elephants were set up to carry stuff. And even more amazingly, look at the detail here. This would be some kind of saddle, I would say. And this is where the driver would have sat. And that is held in place by, again, a strap or a thin piece of metal. We have a hook, and it goes down underneath his tail. And you know what wouldn't surprise me? If you go to India or any country in Asia that still uses elephants, I bet you they're pretty much using the exact same rig. And from elephant, we go to Mr. Lion. Look at him here. Isn't he majestic? Standing with an ancient temple he's been guarding for century after century, set in this jungle setting. But it's up the stairs we need to go to see him a bit closer. and he's in not bad condition. All the rest of them have been severely damaged or have gone. Now, do you know what I do when I meet a lion? Is I go between his legs, because I'm not being rude or funny, is sometimes they have all the equipment, shall we say, but this one doesn't. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's an artistic preference. And Mr. Lion leads us on to a second elephant. And this elephant has that rigging. It's not quite as clear. But what he also has, which gives us even more of the tail, is these here. Now, look at them. They've gone to a lot of trouble to carve this out. And there's another here. And what they must be, I would say, is some sort of fitting. So you can hook something in here and then it's secure. You could put a big lump of timber or stone under here, but these would be the fittings for that. So these elephants, if you look at them closely, can tell you quite the tale. Now, as we go around the corner, we can see something truly remarkable. And there's a story to be told inside this temple as well. But firstly, we need to look skyward, because have a look at this lintel. Look at what they've placed front stage and centre. There is an elephant's head. Isn't that absolutely magnificent? And there's an elephant's head just to the right of the one that's looking forward, and he's in profile, and the same is on the left hand side as well. Coming away from our elephant, we at last look into the centre of this temple. And it is a tale of destruction. I have the camera all the way out, and can you see this L shape here? And there's a kind of L shape going on here, and of course we have a broken plinth in the middle. But look at that L shape there. That is huge. To explain this, I need to get in front of the camera. Now this is inside that very heart of the temple. And I need to give you an idea of size, as always. So I'm going to snuggle up next to this beauty here. Now, this is my arm, and that gives you an idea as to how tall it is, how wide it is. The height, obviously, is way over my head. Now, an awful lot of this is buried into the ground, and this L shape, like this bench I'm sitting on, and this bit here is approximately a quarter of it. There's another lump over there. So how did something that is this deep, this wide, this strong end up being snapped like a brittle twig? Well, we need to try and work out, where did the energy come from to create such a break? And when we look at the written records, we are told that in this temple there was an inscription, and that inscription told that up there at the very top of the tower was mounted a Shiva Linga. So this is what held that Shiva Linga, and what happened was, as the jungle got hold of it, the people have left, the city is abandoned, the jungle takes over. Its roots weave its way into all those tiny nooks and crannies, slowly start separating the brick, and the mighty Shiva Linga falls. And what a noise it must have made, probably in the dead of night. Crash! And so all that wonderful work came to a horrid end. So there it is, the temple that's named after our dear old chum the elephant. And I'm just going to walk round him briefly, just to give you an idea as to size. Now this is me standing up, and they manage to carry the majority of these away. It takes many men with the ambitions of grabbing quite a bit of gold that they can share amongst their party, and of course you've got to smuggle it out the country. There really was no demand for these within Cambodia, I don't feel. They all went overseas, where they now live, because you don't throw these kind of things away. And recently a few items and statues have been returned to this country, and we can only hope as time goes on a few of these wonderful elephants, they find their way home. I really sincerely believe so, because this temple has left me a little sad to see all those empty slots where the lion should be and where the elephant should be, and the final indignity, the falling of the Shiva Linga from the sky. This has been Mr. B of Forgotten Temples. As always, I ask you to like, subscribe and comment, and if by chance you want to drop a couple of coins to help me create this library, the address is always the same: patreon.com/temples. It only remains for me to say thank you very much, and as always, I wish you absolutely nothing but the very best. Say goodbye, Mr. Elephant. Goodbye now. Goodbye.